Hello and good afternoon, everybody. Happy New Year, happy holidays, and welcome in to Roseburg High School boys basketball this afternoon here on The Score. We've been off for a little bit of a break from covering local high school sports, but we are back to it for the new year. And in 2026, we hope to see the Roseburg boys basketball team find some momentum after a bit of a tough start to their season that dealt with injuries, that has dealt with a number of losses. The team hoping to try and turn the page in 2026 to see if they can get on track ahead of Southwest Conference play starting in just a little more than a week from now. It's going to be a big one today as the Roseburg Indians welcome in the Reynolds Raiders, and we get ready to bring you Roseburg High Sports here on The Score. Well, good afternoon, everybody. Joey Keeran here with you with school not in session. We get a Friday matinee game instead of a Friday night game for you here. We get ready to see Roseburg take on the Raiders. Roseburg looking at an 0-10 record to start out the season. Have not been able to get that first win of the year. And as they continue to make their way through the non-conference portion of the schedule, they're trying to put it all together. And we talk with head coach Brett Nixon about that coming up in our Bowers Industrial pregame interview. He said so far it's just the team has shown flashes of moments when things are going right, and then they just can't quite put a full 4 quarters together. We'll see if they can finally do that here today as they take on a Reynolds team led by head coach Terrence Dickens in his 6th year. They are 5-4 on the season and just coming off of a trip to California where they played in the Surf and Slam tournament. They finished that out with a 79-44 loss against a team from Washington. But they are a team that's got some size and some highly touted young players on their team, and they're trying to find everything to put all the pieces together on their season, and we'll see how they fare tonight as they look for a bit of revenge. They lost against Roseburg on their home floor last year in the non-conference portion of the season. We are a little ways away from getting this one started, a little bit of an earlier start than scheduled, as the Roseburg JV game goes quickly. Unfortunately, ended in a loss. Roseburg JV led in majority of the contest, but down the stretch, Reynolds rallied back for a 43-40 win over the Roseburg boys JV team. We'll take a quick time out here during our Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. When we come back, we'll have a word with head coach Brett Nixon. It is our Bowers Industrial pregame interview, a proud support of our local community and youth sports. That's Bowers Industrial. Coach Brett Nixon will be coming up next here on the pregame show. Want to remind everybody that today's game is streaming live with video online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. Find our broadcast going on there. You can watch the game along with the radio broadcast and enjoy all the action with us there. Head to 1490 The Score on YouTube. Make sure you hit the subscribe button and the little bell notification button, and that will sign you up to follow our station. We appreciate it. It's free to do, and it helps us out for sure. And when you hit that bell notification, you can get alerts when we go live with another broadcast of Roseburg High Sports on YouTube. We'll go ahead and take a 2-minute timeout. We come back with more of the pregame show. A talk with head coach Brett Nixon after this on 541radio.com and on The Score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Hey there, sports fans. Thanks for watching this local sporting event online at 541radio.com. Did you know there's more than one way to watch games online? You can watch games on your laptop or desktop computer, your tablet, or even your smartphone just by going to 541radio.com. But we also use YouTube to stream all of our video broadcasts, which means you could be watching this game on your big screen TV with a number of different streaming devices. You can stream our live YouTube broadcast through your PlayStation or Xbox gaming device, or through streaming devices like Google Chromecast, Apple TV, or Roku. There's plenty of ways to follow this live local sporting event. Plus, you can find past events archived on 1490 The Score's YouTube channel. Find us on YouTube and subscribe today to keep up with the latest in local sports coverage.
Douglas County is your home, but no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us. Through every adventure, we'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide. through every triumph. We'll be there every step of the way with a home mortgage. And through all life's little quirks, we'll be there with one-on-one support to get you back on the road in no time. Neighbors are there for each other, and that's exactly who we are. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
Back here with more of our pregame on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM, streaming with our video online at 541radio.com. It's time now for our Bowers Industrial pregame coaches interview. Bowers Industrial, a proud supporter of our local community and youth sports. Get a chance to catch up with head coach Brett Nixon as Roseburg back on the airwaves here. The boys getting ready to take on the Reynolds Raiders in one of their few last non-conference games before getting into Southwest Conference play. And Coach, I know it's been a little while since we checked in. I know looking at the results, they haven't quite gone the way you guys would hope, but over the last couple of weeks since we saw you in the season opener, how do you feel like things are progressing for the team? Obviously a big injury is a part of the storyline since the time that we were last year with covering the team, but kind of how are things been going and progressing for this team in the non-conference portion of the season?
You know, all in all, it's been going fairly well. I mean, yeah, if you look at the record, the scores don't indicate kind of how the games were going. Like, for instance, just the game we had on Monday, you know, we're down 3 at half, down 7 going into the fourth. We cut it to within 3, and I think we ended up losing by 18. So when you look at the ending score, it looks like we got ran out of the gym. But really, we were right there with them, just kind of had some breakdowns. We're just having quarters where we're getting 3 great quarters and then 1 really bad quarter. And so we've got to get over that hump to be able to put 4 good quarters together so we can close the game out.
You know, we mentioned an injury. Jaron Leeworthy injured early on in this season. He's been on the bench for you guys, not able to play here. Just that, how's that changed kind of the dynamic? I know he was, and when we talked about it in the preseason, he was one of the guys that a senior expected to be a leader on this team. With him not out there, how's that kind of changed the dynamic for what you guys are doing?
Well, yeah, definitely changed because, I mean, I was going to have him do a considerable amount of ball handling. And then also being, you know, the dual threat with Harrison Scott. It's really isolated Harrison, so teams kind of come into it going, well, hey, they've got the one shooter. So it's really made the other guys really have to step up and fill that void that was created with losing Jaron.
Yeah. You know, I was looking at some of the scores from the tournament, the Abby's Holiday Classic you guys were just at, and it does look like maybe a couple other guys, including Jaden Kemmerly, really coming off of a recent pretty good game for him. Some other guys are starting to kind of find their role and take in some of that slack that has been left by the injury. Who have been some of the guys that you've been seeing step up?
Yeah, Jaden's definitely one of those that's been filling that void. Also, Tristan's had Frable's really picking up and handle the ball for us. Trey Brown also started him a couple games to handle the ball. They're starting to trust each other and actually trust the process and run the offense instead of trying to individualize the game and go 1-on-5. Mm-hmm. You know, they're actually trusting each other. Really on Monday was when we really saw the offense really click, and the flow was great, and, you know, we were able to stay right in it, getting good looks and one more pass and great shots, knocking down good buckets. So it was fun to watch.
As you guys kind of start getting ready, we're down to the final couple of the non-conference games before league play gets there. You know, in these last couple of games, I mean, do you kind of focus on something in particular? I imagine it's going to stretch throughout the entire season, but league play right around the corner. Is there something you kind of want to see these guys hopefully be able to a benchmark to hit before you guys get into conference play?
Mainly, it's our turnover numbers. That's the problem, is that we're turning the ball over way too many times, and then also not going deep enough into the shot clock. We're coming down and jacking up a shot immediately, and most of the time it's a 3 attempt, and then they're coming down and getting a bucket on the other end. So we bear ourselves a little early. So we need to take care of the ball, get a little bit deeper into the shot clock, and we need to control the tempo of the game a little better.
All right. right, Coach. And then today we got Reynolds coming in. What do you know about this team? What might we expect to see a little bit out of the Raiders here today?
You know, they're going to play hard and fast. They've beat some teams this year. You know, we played them last year and beat them up there at their place, but they've improved quite a bit this year. So we're going to have to put together 4 good quarters if we expect to get a W today.
All right, Coach. Appreciate the time here, and best of luck out there tonight.
Yep, thanks, man.
That is head coach Brett Nixon joining us here on the Roseburg Disposal pregame show. Let them make the run to the dump for you. Give them a call at 673-7122. We'll have a look at your starting lineup here coming up in just a little bit, as well as the opening tip-off. We are counting down as Roseburg hosts the Reynolds Raiders coming up this afternoon here on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
1964, 2 high school pals opened up a pizza parlor. Over 60 years later, their mission of providing a great value and family-friendly environment continues to thrive. And what's been their customers' favorite pizza since day one? The Abby's Special. This classic combo of pepperoni, salami, with olives, mushrooms, beef, and sausage, and 100% real cheese tastes as good today as it did way back then. Enjoy great value and classic pizza at your neighborhood Abby's.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today. Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
In today's big box store, how-to YouTube video world, it is hard to do it yourself. If you're fixing your fence or putting in a new one, the only place to start is Quality Fence. We stock almost anything you need and take the time to show you how to really do it yourself. Visit the Quality Fence showroom in Roseburg and get great fencing ideas at QualityFenceCo.com.
Quality Fence is doing it right for you.
Back here as we are moments away from getting this one started. We'll have a look at your starting lineups here in just a bit. Taking a look at the series history. The last year, Roseburg won at Reynolds, 66-52. Over the last 10 years, since the 2013-2014 season, Roseburg is 1-2 against Reynolds. They lost in games at the Abby's Holiday Classic against the Raiders during the 2015-2016 season and the 2016-2017 season. So in the last 10 years or so, these two teams have met 3 times. Right now, Roseburg trailing in the series 1-2. Roseburg comes in at 0-10. Reynolds is 5-4 on the season. Both teams coming off of a loss in their last matchup. We'll come back with your opening lineups to this one in just a moment on 541radio.com and on The Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be, handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes. That'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
Obviously, yes.
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon, because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and others.
Welcome you back here as we get ready for today's matchup. Roseburg and Reynolds squaring off. Your Southern Septic Service starting lineups from residential to commercial. Southern Septic Service has your behind covered when it comes to septic tank pumping and inspections, portable toilet rentals, and grease trap cleaning. Southern Septic Service is woman and veteran owned and a proud supporter of our local sports teams. For the visiting Reynolds Raiders, it'll be Mason Gray, Josiah Jenkins, Jalen Smith, Eddie Zabatin, and Jordan Smith. You're starting at 5 for the Raiders and head coach Terrence Dickens. Now for head coach Brett Nixon in his first year leading the Roseburg Indians. His starting 5 will be Tristan Frabel, Jaden Kemmerly, Preston Sprague, Gavin Michael, and Gannon Egbert. Your starting 5 there. Coach, as I mentioned, we've been off for a little bit, haven't broadcast a game since the season opener, and so haven't seen the team regularly over the last couple of weeks, but coach saying that this is a bit of a different starting 5 for him. He's only got the one senior in the starting 5. That is Jaden Kemmerly, who's coming off of a 17-point performance in his last game, that loss against Milwaukee, 76-58 at the Abby's Holiday Classic back on Monday. For Reynolds, they're coming off of the loss against Skyview out of Washington. They're 5-4. They've lost 2 and have gone 2-3 in their last 5. Getting ready for the opening tip. Roseburg will be in the home white jerseys, and in the road blacks is Reynolds. They win the tip, and they will be moving right to left on your radio dial. Driving in, a pull up from the left elbow is good. And we've got a quick 2 for Reynolds. Scoring was Jalen Smith. Other direction, Kemmerly will pull from the top. His straightaway 3 is off the mark. Rebound comes down to the Raiders. They want to run quick, stepping inside the three-point line and flushing another one in. Jalen Smith, the sophomore, has hit a pair of 2s, and he has his team in front 4-0. Out to the top, pass picked away. Up the floor goes Mason Gray. The freshman will lay it in. A preview I've seen about the Reynolds team. He is a defensive-minded guard, ranked number 12 in the freshman class. And now we've got a timeout called as a full-court press employed by Reynolds, trying to trap Roseburg in the backcourt, forcing a timeout early from head coach Brett Nixon. Timeout, just a 30-second timeout. We'll keep it right here with 7:09 to go in the first quarter. It is 6-0. Reynolds out to a quick lead in this one. Today's game is brought to you by Barnes Heating and Cooling. Your complete energy company. Visit barnesheatingandcooling.com or call them at 541-459-1545. And by Flyaway Travel. You can contact the travel experts at Travel Leader Flyaway Travel. Make sure that you have an agent in your corner. Call 541-672-5701. Reynolds went 1-2 in the Surf and Slam tournament down in California and finished 5th in the Slam division, which was the higher of the 2 divisions in that tournament, playing teams from Utah and Washington. Mason Gray going to pick up his first foul. First foul in the ball game here today. The defensive-minded freshman. Again, a couple of highly touted young freshmen on this Raiders team. Jordan Smith wears number 22. He's the number 1 ranked freshman in Oregon. Entry underneath, trying to go straight up. Shot got redirected for Preston Sprague. Other direction, here goes the aforementioned Jordan Smith, but his lay-in does not go in. Right at the rim, it's tipped out, so it'll stay with Reynolds. Reynolds in the black uniforms. Toss it in to Zabatin. Gives it away on the right corner. A three off the mark for Smith. And it's pulled down by Roseburg with the rebound, Gavin Michael. Frabel has it out at the top. Tries to split two defenders. Draws a whistle. You've got a biggest lineup that Roseburg can put together out on the floor. Frabel's the shortest guy, listed at 5'11", but then you've got Kemmerly at 6'2", Sprague at 6'5", Michael at 6'4", Egbert at 6'3". Biggest lineup that Roseburg can put out there. Harrison Scott, the senior, who's the leading scorer coming off the bench today. Inside the two-point line, a little bit of a line drive at the rim from Sprague off the mark. Roseburg still scoreless, 6-0, 6:23 to go. Another pull-up jumper from just inside the arc for Jalen Smith. He's got 6 early in this one, and it's 8-0. Reynolds in front. Driving in, got to the rim, but kick it out to the corner does Egbert. Back into the corner for Kemmerly, a three, and he'll flush it in. Jordan Kemmerly will get Roseburg on the board and cut into the 8-0 deficit. 5:58 to go here in the first quarter. Bounce it down to the baseline for Zabatin, working against Kemmerly. Out to the top, straightaway three, back iron no. Rebound tracked down by Michael after the miss by Smith. That is Jalen Smith, the older brother of Jordan Smith, but they're both still young, a sophomore and a freshman. Toss out to the top. Sprague attacks. His pass redirected out to Frabel for a three. Left wing, missed everything. Out of bounds to Reynolds. Zone defense being employed by Reynolds, and the pass got redirected right into the hands of Tristan Frabel, who launched the three but couldn't hit. Nearing the midway point of this first quarter, 5.5 to go. Roseburg trails 8-3. With the basketball, Reynolds. Gray dribbles up the left side, gives it away to Zabatin, gets it right back, angles, right wing, three goes down. 5 in the first quarter for Gray. He's got the first three-pointer of the night for Reynolds, the Raiders. A three trying to answer. Kemmerly off the front iron, tracked down by Zabatin. Ball tipped away, and it goes to Harrison Scott, who was just checked into the ball game. Scott's going to launch a deep three, short. A rebound hauled in by Jordan Smith, and then a foul in transition. Smith listed at 6'4", Jordan Smith. Jalen Smith is 6 foot. You've also got Eddie Zabatin, the 6'6" senior, all Mount Hood Conference honorable mention last year as a junior. As a sophomore, he led all of the 6A classification in rebounds. Big guy in the middle looking to have a big season. He's a 4-year varsity player. Around a screen, Jalen Smith feeds it to Zabatin. He misses at point-blank range, goes back up after getting his own rebound, and is fouled in the act of shooting. It's 11-3. Looking to add to the lead will be Zabatin at the free throw line. Eddie Zabatin last year averaged 13.5 points and 8.6 rebounds per game. Foul went against Harrison Scott. His first. Second on Roseburg. Both teams with 2 fouls. Zabatin hit the first. Second free throw coming. And he makes them both. First points of the night for Zabatin. Makes it 13-3, 10-point lead, largest of the day for Reynolds. Frabel toss it across the floor at the timeline. A little pitch and catch going with Kemmerly, and then a nice whip pass underneath to Sprague. Outlet up the floor, get it up to Josiah Jenkins at the rim. He'll finish and draws the foul. A nice whip pass underneath by Frabel. He found Preston Sprague underneath for an easy bucket. Good court vision, but then a quick outlet leaking out down the floor. Josiah Jenkins got free. They pass it over the top, and he lays it in, draws the whistle. That is on Preston Sprague, and he gets called for his first foul. Third foul against Roseburg here in the first quarter. Mason Gray heads to the bench. Coming in is Naira Fantroy, a senior for Reynolds. The and one is good for Jenkins, the traditional three-point play. 16-5 is our score. 4:20 to go. Into the corner. Head fake, driving in, make the extra pass for Frabel, and he finds the backdoor cutter, Gannon Egbert, for 2. Down to a 9-point game. Driving, splitting things, finding the seam and right to the rim. Jalen Smith having an electric start to the ball game. 18-7, Reynolds in front. Other direction, Kemmerly trying to attack. He'll draw a whistle. And they call that on Eddie Zabatin. It'll be the third team foul against the Raiders, first against Zabatin. And it sends Jaden Kemmerly to the free throw line. Kemmerly 17 points in the loss against Milwaukee as he hits the first. Played 21 games last year for Roseburg. Getting his most run and his first opportunities to start here this year as a senior. The final shot of the free throw trip is good for Kemmerly. Up the floor quickly, right corner. Jordan Smith buries a corner three, his first points of the game. And it is 21-9, a foul called on the other side. Actually, sorry, not a foul. Ball knocked out of bounds. It'll stay with Roseburg out near midcourt. Kemmerly will inbound. Kemmerly, Frabel, Sprague, Egbert, and Scott on the floor for the Tribe right now. And a pass left side by Frabel is knocked towards the sideline, saved in bounds, and Gray tracks it down. He sends it up the floor. Left side, Fantroy across the key. Got it to Jalen Smith. His shot was short, tipped out. It'll go to Roseburg. Substitution in. Marcus Lobo comes in for the first time. He will check in for Gannon Egbert. Roseburg will have Lobo, Kemmerly, Frabel, Scott, and Sprague out on the floor. Frabel, some pressure in the backcourt, bounces it across the timeline through the center circle to Sprague. Gives it right side. Kemmerly pointing, will toss across the floor. Frabel into the corner for Scott, drives baseline. The runner, he buries it, rattles in for Harrison Scott, his first points of the ball game. Back to a 10-point deficit for the Tribe, 21-11. 3 minutes to go. Bounce pass right side. Get it to Zabatin. Just a couple of steps. Didn't need a dribble. He soars to the rim, but he can't finish. Pressure in the backcourt again. Bounce pass up the right side for Kemmerly. Toss it across the floor to Scott into the left corner for Frabel. Gets it all the way across to Kemmerly. Sets up for the corner three. Well long as it sails over everything into the hands of Reynolds. Smith will bring it up left side. Sends it to his younger brother, Jordan Smith. Sails to the rim. He can't finish either. Rebound pulled down by Scott. One has put pass up the left side. Frabel weaves his way back to the top of the arc. Scott tries to dribble drive off his foot. A whistle will bail him out. That one off his foot, but got hit across the wrist as he was trying to attack through the middle of the Reynolds defense. The foul goes against Mason Gray, his second. Inbound from the baseline. Scott out to the top to Lobo, into the corner, Frabel, head fake, dribbles around a screen, give and go with Lobo, dribbles around the defender, got him in the air. Marcus Lobo with a smart play underneath, able to get an easy look as the defense goes sailing by. 21-13, 2:04 to go first quarter. Into the left corner, Jordan Smith hits another one. Another corner three for the freshman. 24-13, back out to an 11-point lead. Pressure again in the backcourt. One-hand pass up the floor to Kemmerly. Kemmerly, and that's an over and back. Kemmerly tossing it to Marcus Lobo before he established himself in the front court. He received it as he was jumping across the timeline, and he gets whistled for the turnover. 24-13, 1:47 to go. Reynolds with a lead of double digits. They've been up by as many as 12 here in the first. Backcourt inbound to Mason Gray. Looks to the bench as he walks across the timeline. Hands it back to Jordan Smith out at the top. He's heating up, pulls up for another three, and he's got it 3 in a row. He's got 9 in the period with 3 threes. 27-13, largest lead of the game for the Raiders. Sprague with it out at the top between the circles. Frabel gets it to Kemmerly, finds the cutting Sprague, and Preston will catch and turn, lays it off the glass for 2. 27-15. Another, that looked like a long two. It's short either way for Jordan Smith. Outlet up the floor for us. Harrison Scott, he was looking for help. Had it poked away, but then he'll knock it away. It rolls right into the hands of one of the Reynolds players. That's Josiah Jenkins as he takes it to the rim and finishes. 29-15. Looking for the quick outlet up the floor. Tapped out of the way of Harrison Scott. Roseburg trailing by 14 again. They've done a nice job to heat up here in the first quarter to try and stay in this one, but hot shooting from Jordan Smith has really helped the Reynolds Raiders pull ahead in this first quarter. 55.8 seconds to go in the first. There are some substitutions for Reynolds. Inbound goes to Scott. Kemmerly in the corner, launches again, off the mark. Trickles down into the hands of Jalen Smith. Fires it up the floor into the hands of Zabatin with pressure on him. He's able to lay it off the glass. Makes it a 16-point lead. Reynolds up big here in the opening period. Frabel dribbles right side into the corner. Lobs across the floor. Quick pass. Harrison Scott going to try a three. He'll roll one in. Harrison Scott gets Roseburg a three. Much needed. Their second here in the first quarter. Back to a 13-point deficit. Down to 18 seconds to go, opening quarter. Jalen Smith with it, right wing. Bounces down to Zabatin, working against Sprague. Dribbles to the right elbow, wings it across the floor. Saved back in by Gray. Out at the top, Jalen Smith drives, pulls up. Too long, and that'll end things in the first quarter. Our score, 31-18. Big opening period for the Reynolds Raiders. We come back at the end of one. It is Roseburg down 31-18 against Reynolds on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
When it's time for pizza, make it Mountain Mike's. We only use the freshest ingredients, like our zesty pepperoni that curls when it's cooked to perfection. And don't worry, we put enough on every slice. Mountain Mike's. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Douglas County is your home.
But no matter where life takes you, Cascade Community Credit Union will be there whenever you need us.
We'll be there with access to over 30,000 no-fee ATMs worldwide.
We'll be there with an auto loan for your next vehicle.
And when you're ready to make your dreams a reality, we'll be there with a home mortgage and one-on-one support every step of the way. Because commitment to our members is reflected in everything we do. Cascade Community Credit Union, there whenever you need us.
Start the second quarter. Roseburg with the basketball, trailing by 13. They trailed by as many as 16 in that first period. As Reynolds came out and really was on fire. Harrison Scott, the lefty, catches in the corner, launches off the back iron on the three-point attempt. Rebound pulled down by Jalen Smith. Brings it up through the center circle, attacking with the left hand, goes down the lane, tosses it across to Zabatin, and he works his way to the rim, and his footwork gets him free for two. 33-18 our score, opening 30 seconds of the second quarter. Sprague drives, gets it to Kemmerly, right side. Frabel beyond the arc, dribbles back to the top, circles around the defender, pulls up at the free throw line, gives it away. Lobo sprinting to the top. Naira Fantroy, the senior, exploding to the top of the key to try and put on some defensive pressure against Marcus Lobo, and he just collided with Lobo. He'll pick up the foul. That's his first, and that sends him to the bench. Fantroy to the bench, back into the game. I believe that was Jordan Smith that checked in. 7:11 to go, 33-18. In front is Reynolds. Harrison Scott will inbound it into the backcourt for Frabel. Running the point for Roseburg. Harrison Scott gets it, a pull-up jumper, mid-range, drops it in. Off the bench, Harrison Scott with 7 points in the ball game. Back to a 13-point deficit. In or down to Zabatin, ball loose on the ground. He finally gets it behind the back, whip the pass to the top. Entry pass stolen away. Preston Sprague just stumbling his way up the floor. Somehow gets it to Scott. Scott gets it to Lobo. Back to Scott. Tried to go up with the shot. It's blocked by Jordan Smith. The big freshman sends it up the floor. And Zabatin, I think, was considering a one-hand slam dunk. And it kind of slipped out of his hands. He ends up just laying it in. 35-20. 15-point lead for the Raiders. High rainbow shot for Lobo off the mark from behind the arc. Jordan Smith gets it. He goes coast to coast. He takes on contact from Preston Sprague. He actually looked like he was initiating it, and he lays it in. And now Roseburg, a quick turnover. Flip it up the floor. Here comes Jordan Smith, and Smith easily glides to the rim to lay it in again. That was 4 quick points on outlet passes down the floor for Jordan Smith. The 6'4" freshman strides his way down the floor quickly, and it is a 19-point lead for Reynolds. They take the timeout. I think it looks like it's just a 30. Roseburg using the timeout, so we're going to keep it right here in the process. 6:04 to go in the first half. Today's game brought to you by DC Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop, and by Cascade Community Credit Union, belong to Douglas County. Coming up at the halftime break, we will take a look at your first half stats, which are brought to you by Winston Auto Care, your home team for auto repair for over 25 years. Give them a call at 541-679-8685. Appreciate everybody tuning in and joining us, whether you're listening on the radio or if you're joining us with the video stream online at 541radio.com and on the 1490 The Score YouTube channel. Great to have you back here as we pick up things with Roseburg basketball in the new year. Harrison Scott at the timeout will flush a left side three. Second three-pointer of the night for Harrison Scott. Roseburg back within 16. Looking to cut into the deficit before half. A three by Jordan Smith. Bit of a heat check there. Came up short. Roseburg walks it up the floor quickly. Lobo attacks with the right hand, tries to get a whistle, and will. I believe that'll be Mason Gray picking up his third.
Reynolds foul on number 0.
It is on Mason Gray, and that is his third. And we've got a youngster on the floor. She is not quite at the high school age just yet. I think it was a joke. One of our officials there said technical foul. I think a joke about the youngster running onto the floor. Lobo goes 1 for 2 at the line during the commotion on the floor. Lobo was in the process of shooting his first free throw. Makes one of them, 39-24. Right side, another three by Smith. Nope, Lobo pulls it down, and he will race up the floor as Roseburg looks to push. Into the right corner. Crossover, lost the dribble in the middle. Ball still loose. Bounces off the head of Josiah Jenkins, but he does collect it. Gets it up to Jalen Smith. Smith, 360 dribble, spin move to the left. Back out to the top, pull back, sets up for the three. It just grazes the front of the iron, and then Preston Sprague will throw it off of Josiah Jenkins, and Roseburg will get the possession. 4:57 to go, first half. So 13-point lead at the end of the first quarter. It is a 15-point lead at the moment here in the second. Into the game, Trey Brown, the senior, gives it to Harrison Scott, who rises up from downtown and buries another three, his third in the game. And Roseburg back within 12 at 39-27, nearing the midway point of the second quarter. Out to Jordan Smith, bounces it to Zabatin, had it slapped from behind. Scott almost got it taken away, but there to clean things up was Jordan Smith. Laying attempt, no. Underneath the rebound, fight for it, a whistle. It was actually going to be on the shot attempt. It's going to be a foul on Egbert, his first. So it was on the shot attempt. That sends Jordan Smith to the free throw line for the first time today. I want to keep saying tonight we've got this afternoon matinee game for you. here from Robertson Memorial Gymnasium at Roseburg High School. Jordan Smith makes the first. He's got a second one coming. This Reynolds team averaging 67.8 points per game, already at 40 here in the first half. Second free throw is good as well. 41-27. Reynolds in front of Roseburg. Brown brings it up the floor on the right side. Sharp crossover. Gets it to Sprague, who was looking like he was going to step into a three. Almost traveled. Got it to Scott. Gets it to Lobo. Baseline reverse wraparound lay-in goes in for Marcus Lobo. On the other side, a quick outlet and into the padding underneath the basket goes Jordan Smith. He draws the whistle. Will go back to the free throw line. His shot did not go. With exactly 4 minutes on the second quarter clock, Jordan Smith, who just hit a pair of free throws, back at the line, looking to add to the 12-point lead for Reynolds. His first one rolls in. Today's game is brought to you by McClendon Smokehouse, a family-owned meat shop and smokehouse offering a wide selection, plus fresh produce, baked goods, and a general grocery selection. Stop by on West Harvard Avenue. Second free throw goes in, and a timeout called down on the floor by Reynolds. 43-29, Reynolds will take the timeout, and it is a full timeout. So let's go ahead and get in a 30-second break here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
For over 100 years, Douglas County Farmers Co-op has been serving the needs of farmers, ranchers, and homeowners throughout Southern Oregon. Here, everyone is welcome. When you shop with us, you can expect good people, good products, and good advice. No membership needed. Just bring yourself, and we'll provide the expertise and products you need to tackle your next project. Douglas County Farmers Co-op, where everyone is welcome to shop.
We've got 4 minutes to go in the first half. Roseburg trailing in this one, 43-29. Joey Keeran here with you. A programming note coming up after we get done here on the airwaves today. Oregon State men's basketball coming up tonight. They take on Pacific on the road in Stockton, California. Pre-game coverage starts at 6:30 with Mike Parker, and the tip-off at 7 o'clock tonight here on the Score. Out of the timeout by Reynolds. It'll be Roseburg basketball under the midway point of the period. On the right side, Lobo dribbles. Baseline skip pass into the corner for Egbert. Out to Scott at the left elbow. He pulls up. His shot rattles off the right side of the iron. Down into the hands of the Raiders. Up the floor quickly. Get it to Zabatin in the middle with the left hand. He works around the defender and lays it off the glass. 6 points in the period for Zabatin. He's got 10 in the ballgame. 45-29, back out to a 16-point lead for Reynolds. They had it as large as 19. Underneath to Scott, makes the extra pass to Egbert. He pulls up, and his shot too strong. Rebound down to Zabatin. Up the floor, he finds Jordan Smith, who goes right to the rim for another lay-in. 47-29. Pull-up three, left side. Harrison Scott will splash in his third three of the period, his fourth in the game. 47-32, but answering on the other side is Jordan Smith, who hits his fourth three-pointer of the game. And it's 50-32, 18-point lead for the Raiders. They have their zone defense going against Roseburg. Baseline, Lobo tosses out to the top. Harrison Scott tracks it down. Between the circles for Brown, right side. Scott, the wing three, over the front of the iron and drops in his fourth of the period, fifth in the game. And Harrison Scott off the bench having a hot shooting second quarter. He's got 14 in the period, 15 overall. One-hand pass underneath, too strong, but it ends up in the hands of Fantroy. Gets it back to Jenkins. Jenkins passed, ends up out of bounds. Across the baseline, Roseburg will get it back with the defensive stop. Mason Gray with 3 fouls checks back into the game. Roseburg trailing by 15. 2:12 to go in the second quarter. Trey Brown's going to walk it towards the timeline. Into the front court, sends it. Harrison Scott thought about the three, does not pull the trigger. Back out to Brown. Right side, all alone. Out to the Scott. Scott into the middle for Sprague. He turned around, his shot rims out. That one just spun out of the cylinder for Preston Sprague. 1:50 to go. Up the floor, catch and shoot three by Mason Gray. No. Zabatin with the rebound. Nobody blocked him out. He finds the cutter on the backside. Jordan Smith is there, lays it in again. He has gotten a lot of finishes right at the rim to go along with his 4 3-pointers. 52-35. In front is Reynolds. Out of the Mount Hood Conference, they are a sharp-looking team. A launch of three by Lobo. It's too strong. Down with the rebound is Jalen Smith. Left side to Gray. In the corner, dribbles in, jump stop in the base. Down in the paint, he whips it back out to the top. Jalen Smith almost lost his footing, pulls up for a three. It rattles off. Sprague with the rebound. 67 seconds to go in the first half. Toss across the floor. On the left side, Brown, a couple of jab step, dribbles in, makes the extra pass. It's tipped by Zabatin, and last touch by Sprague. Turnover by the Tribe, back into the hands of the Raiders. Egbert will check out. Back into the game comes Gavin Michael. Zabatin looking down the floor, going to launch it down to Mason Gray, catching Roseburg sleeping, whip it into the far corner, and another three drops through the bucket for Jordan Smith. 55-35, a 20-point lead, largest of the game for Reynolds. Harrison Scott to the free throw line, back out to Lobo, push it across the floor to Michael, gets it quickly, a touch pass underneath to Preston Sprague, who lays it in and gets fouled. Sprague a chance at the traditional three-point play. Preston averaging 7.6 points per game in the 5 games I have stats for. Foul win against Zabatin, his second. The and one for Sprague, no. Fighting underneath, tapped out by Gavin Michael. There's one game missing out of the stats that I have. That was the game against Grants Pass at the Abby's Holiday Classic. So my scoring percentages are missing one game, but they're close. Down to 25 seconds to go in the first half. Gray with it, directing traffic. Gets it to Jordan Smith. The freshman all the way back out to the midcourt stripe, marked by Gavin Michael. Michael inching his way closer. Here goes Smith. One-hand pass underneath to his brother, Jalen. And Jalen lays it over the front of the iron. His first points of the second quarter after an 8-point first quarter. There's still time on the clock. An air ball from midcourt went to Preston Sprague. And nobody was thinking that there was going to be any time left. They were expecting the buzzer to go off. Sprague caught it and almost realized, oh, wait, the horn hasn't gone off. I can lay this in. And he does exactly that as we finish out the first half. So easy 2 there for Preston Sprague to finish out the first half. 57-39, though. The Reynolds Raiders building a big lead in the first half. Quick one in this first half, and we've got your halftime break coming up when we come back. Roseburg trailing against Reynolds 57-39 here on 541radio.com and on the Score 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
To us, pizza the way it ought to be isn't just our slogan. It's our promise and our passion to give you the best dining experience and the best tasting pizza you expect. For over 40 years, we've been making pizza the way it ought to be. Handmade with the freshest and finest ingredients. Our dough is made fresh daily, and we use 100% whole milk mozzarella cheese and toppings to the edge. There's pizza, and then there's Mountain Mike's Pizza. Pizza the way it ought to be.
Successful companies have a very important secret. Good advertising works and makes them money. That's why your business should contact Lotus Media Group. Let us help you cash in with multimedia advertising. Multiple touches from Douglas County's only Google certified partner and most effective advertising platform. Web, broadcast, print. Make it happen. LotusMediaGroupLLC.com.
Are you an enthusiastic sports fan? Want to have fun and get in on the action?
Heck, yes, that'd be awesome.
Have great attention to detail? Want to stay active?
Definitely.
Want to give back to the student athletes in your community?
I'll Obviously, yes!
Then you'd make an excellent high school sports official. We need more officials in Oregon because with no high school officials, there are no high school sports. Sign up today at highschoolofficials.com.
Looking for more local sports coverage? CBS Sports Radio 1490 The Score has you covered. Check out our homepage at 541radio.com for sports stories, scores, and podcasts. And follow us on social media. 1490 The Score is on Twitter, Facebook, and Instagram. And take the station with you wherever you go with the 541 Radio app. Download the app in your smartphone's app store and get access to a live stream of the station, sports stories, podcasts, and easy messaging with the station and other.
Yes. Welcome back here to Roseburg High School. Don't usually get a lot of games in during the afternoon when the sun is still up. So the windows on the along the baseline to our left, looking north here out of Roseburg. Usually it's just dark out there. You don't get to see what's going on outside. With the daylight still out there, we can tell there's a lot of really low-lying clouds hanging around on a gray and dreary day in the Umpqua Basin. But here at the break, we've got some high school basketball going on inside where it is nice and toasty, and we've had plenty of hot action going on as both these teams racing up and down the floor. But it has been the Reynolds Raiders who have been taking control of things early on, leading at 57-39 in this one. Joey Keeran here with you at the halftime break. We will take a look at your first half stats brought to you by Winston Auto Care. Today's game has been brought to you by Gibbs RV Superstore. You got to get to Gibbs. And by our friends at Palm Wealth Management, a member of D.A. Davidson & Company, member SIPC. Well, it was a 31-18 lead in the first quarter for Reynolds, led by as many as 16 in that period. Then they outscored Roseburg 26-21 in the second quarter, building as much as a 20-point lead. They currently lead this one by 18 at the halftime break. 57-39 is our score. Got a couple of players in double figures for Reynolds, and Roseburg has one guy that is heated up in the first half. We'll take a look at those stats when we come back. We'll take another quick timeout here during the halftime show, and we come back with first half stats on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
1964, two high school pals opened up a pizza parlor. Over 60 years later, their mission of providing a great value and family-friendly environment continues to thrive. And what's been their customers' favorite pizza since day one? The Abby's Special. This classic combo of pepperoni, salami, with olives, mushrooms, beef, and sausage, and 100% real cheese tastes as good today as it did way back then. Enjoy great value and classic pizza at your neighborhood Abby's.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today. Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
In today's big box store, how-to YouTube video world, it is hard to do it yourself. If you're fixing your fence or putting in a new one, the only place to start is Quality Fence. We stock almost anything you need and take the time to show you how to really do it yourself. Visit the Quality Fence showroom in Roseburg and get great fencing ideas at qualityfenceco.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
At the break, it's an 18-point lead for the visiting Reynolds Raiders out of the Mount Hood Conference, and in Troutdale, they are looking to improve to 6-4 on the season and a 2-game losing skid. Taking a look at scoring from the first half. First at some team numbers here. 6 threes in that first half for Reynolds. They went 7 for 7 at the free throw line. Roseburg also hitting 6 threes in the first half, but they went 3 for 5 at the free throw stripe. Leading scorer in the ballgame with 27 is Jordan Smith. Started out quiet, but then he hit 3 threes in the first quarter for 9 and adds 18 in the second period as he hits a couple more threes and was able to attack the rim. Got a lot of buckets right at the iron. Also went 4 for 4 at the free throw line. 10 points in the game for Jalen Smith, the older brother. He had 8 in the first quarter. 10 points in the game for Eddie Zabatin, the big senior in the middle. Had a pretty evenly spread first half. He also had 5 points in that first half for freshman Mason Gray, who did pick up 3 fouls. 5 points for Josiah Jenkins as well. On the other side, coming off the bench, senior Harrison Scott. He's got 5 3-pointers in this one. He's got 19 points total, hit 14 in the second quarter after putting up 5 in the first. 8 points in the game for Preston Sprague. You had 5 points for Marcus Lobo, 5 for Jaden Kemmerly, and 2 in the game for Gannon Egbert. That's a look at your first half stats in this one. At the break, it is 57-39. Reynolds in front of Roseburg. JV, it was Reynolds winning that one with a comeback effort, 43-40. We'll go ahead and take a timeout. That was your Winston Auto Care stat update here at the break. We'll have a final one coming up in the postgame show as well. Today's game brought to you by Waldron's Outdoor Sports. You can check them out at their new location at 450 Northeast Stevens Street in Roseburg. Get ready for all of your outdoor activities. Back after this 1-minute timeout. Second half is just about underway on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Turn your home into your dream sanctuary with help from Douglas County Farmers Co-op. For over 100 years, we've carried everything you need to keep your garden and crops green and growing, including a large selection of soil mixes, composts, fertilizers, and other soil amendments. You'll also find stones, boulders, gravel, and more to add structure and diversity to your yard. Stop by or shop at DouglasCountyFarmersCoop.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you. Just ask your neighbor. Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Getting the second half underway here. Third quarter action between Roseburg and Reynolds. Reynolds will start with the basketball, moving left to right on your radio dial. And their road blacks, Roseburg in the home whites. A steal taken away from Roseburg on the first possession. Harrison Scott will get into the corner. The lefty quickly turns and launches from the right corner, and he buries another one. His 6th 3 in the ball game. He's up to 22 in the contest. Driving right side, going baseline. Gannon Egbert whistled for a push. Egbert will pick up his second. It'll be an inbound from the baseline for Reynolds. Right into Zabatin, who got tied up with Preston Sprague. And they're going to call that foul on Sprague as he tried to do what he could to slow down Zabatin, who just went right to work against the Roseburg big. Zabatin will inbound from the baseline. 57-42 our score. Out to Jordan Smith. The freshman, lengthy freshman, working against Egbert, goes around a screen, pulls up for the three, and it will fall through. Very contested shot, and he's able to get it to drop in, 60-42. His 6-3, staying even with Harrison Scott on the number of three-pointers made. Bounce into the corner for Sprague, out to the top to Frabel, back to Sprague. He underhands it to Egbert, jump stop out to the top to Frabel. Draws it back out, down to 12 on the shot clock. Entry pass down to the right baseline is off target. Roseburg will have the possession. Out to the top, Sprague launching a three, no. Rebound hauled in by Jenkins, secures it, gets it to Jalen Smith, who gets called for a carry, turns it over. 18-point lead. The Raiders in front. Their season high is 98 points. They've definitely had a hot start to this one. Long pass into the corner for Kemmerly, who would like to get going. He's missed a few threes. Frabel head fake down underneath to Egbert. He got harassed, nearly lost it. Back to a straightaway three by Scott. It rolls off the front of the iron, and it's Zabatin that pulls down the rebound. Gray gets it on the left corner, dribbles around traffic, out to the top, a long two just inside the arc, goes through. Back to a 20-point lead, 62-42. Turnaround jumper swatted. Harrison Scott got it stolen away, and then on the other side, he got the block and the run out. A one-hand dunk for Jordan Smith will make it 64-42. 22-point lead, largest margin in this one for Reynolds. Sprague will toss it out to the right corner, and a timeout called by Roseburg. Coach Nixon will call a full timeout with 5:44 to go here in the third quarter. We'll go ahead and take a 1 minute, let's get a 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
When it's time for pizza, make it Mountain Mike's. We only use the freshest ingredients, like our zesty pepperoni that curls when it's cooked to perfection. And don't worry, we put enough on every slice. Mountain Mike's. Pizza the way it ought to be.
64-42 to go in the third quarter. We've got 5:44 left to play. So 64-42 is our score. In front is Reynolds. Today's game brought to you by Evergreen Family Medicine. Expect the unexpected at Evergreen Family Medicine, serving Roseburg, Myrtle Creek, and Sutherland. Roseburg out of the full timeout. They get a clean look for Jaden Kemmerly, and he'll hit his second three in the ball game. Driving in, Jalen Smith goes to the floor. His shot hit the underside of the rim as he went sailing in. He does draw a whistle. Egbert whistled for that. They will send Jalen Smith to the free throw line for the first time tonight. Roseburg will be at North Eugene coming up next Tuesday, and then it's beginning league play coming up 1 week from today. So free throw is good for Smith. One more coming. Roseburg will start out league play against Willamette here at home next Friday night at 6:45. Second free throw goes through. Jalen Smith gets them both. Tristan Frabel will bring the ball up the floor on the right side. Preston Sprague gets it, turns, looks underneath. Scott feeds it out to Kemmerly for a three. No, underneath. Egbert fighting for the rebound, gets a whistle. Going to call that on Jordan Smith. His first foul in the ball game. Smith will get it out to Frable out at the top. Assuming that is Scott out to Frable. Frable draws it back out towards the center circle. A right-hand dribble, gives it away to Sprague. Sprague into the middle of the defense to Scott. Back out to Frable. Steps into that three. It's off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Jordan Scott. He's going to weave his way through everybody and throws down another. Back out to a 22-point lead for the Raiders. That young man is athletic. He's rated the #1 freshman in the state of Oregon, and he comes away with a steal. He's going one-on-one against Frable, and he'll roll one through again. 9 points in the period for Jordan Smith, and he's got it out to a 24-point lead. Frable working against Jalen Smith, gets a whistle. Naira Fantroy getting ready to check back into the game. He'll come in for Jordan Smith. He'll make his way to the bench. It's a little fanfare for how good he has been. I was expecting a round of applause from his teammates and the few fans that have traveled down from Troutdale. 70-45. Preston Sprague pass got tipped. Scott will come and get it. Turns around for a long two as his foot was on the line. Underneath Egbert, great offensive rebound. Putback attempt, no. Tipped out to Kemmerly, who tried to turn and attack. Got hit and will draw the foul. They called out one against Mason Gray, who can't believe it, and that's his fourth.
Mason Gray.
Out to Kemmerly, back to Scott, back to Kemmerly again, a long three, short, and it grazed the front of the iron. A jump ball called as the two number 15s go at it. Egbert and Zabatin were fighting for the basketball, and it will go to Roseburg on the possession arrow. Gray heads to the bench. Coming into the game, Caden Jewett, a senior. Long inbound out to the top to Frable. Both Sprague and Frable were there. Sprague gave it to his teammate. And a foul called as they try to pinch things on Jaden Kemmerly, who got trapped out on the wing. Another foul called against Reynolds, their fourth. That is the second foul against Fantroy. Jenkins will check out of the game. Back in is Jordan Smith. Lob out towards the top, and it's too high. Jaden Kemmerly could not get to it. It is going to be Reynolds basketball as nobody touched that ball, and so Roseburg throws it out of bounds. It'll go back to where they inbounded it, and Reynolds will have it with 3:54 to go here in the third quarter. Leading big in this one, 70-45. And the ball taken away. Roseburg gets a steal. Going down the sideline. Pass to the free throw line. Jaden Kemmerly splashes it in. On the outlet, nobody taking. Fantroy gets right to the rim, tries to whirl one up there. Doesn't get it to fall, but does get a whistle. And they will call it on Kemmerly. That'll be the second foul for Jaden Kemmerly. Nope, sorry, his first. They still had Fantroy's second foul listed on the board. Same number, different team. Fourth team foul against Roseburg. Naira Fantroy, the senior, hits the free throw for his first point in the ball game. Preston Sprague heads to the bench. Into the game, Marcus Lobo. One more free throw here for Fantroy. And it is good. Hits a pair. 72-47 in front is Reynolds. Frable out at the top, marked by Jewett. Hands it off to Scott, working against Jordan Smith. Scott goes baseline, some contact. Don't count the bucket. It was on the floor. And Harrison Scott draws the foul against Caden Jewett. That's 5 team fouls against Reynolds, so we are into the bonus here for Roseburg. They'll get a chance to go to the line. That'll be Harrison Scott, first trip to the free throw line for Scott, who's got 22 points in the ball game. Make it 23. Today's game brought to you by Roseburg Country Club, established in 1922, offering an 18-hole course with excellent year-round playability. Find more at roseburgcountryclub.com. Both free throws go through for Harrison Scott, 72-49. Pass tipped up, but tracking it down is Jalen Smith. On the baseline, Fantroy got trapped, tried to make a baseline pass. It was stolen away. Outlet pass by Roseburg is taken away by Reynolds. Corner three by Jalen Smith. No, but underneath, Jordan Smith gets the defensive board and the putback two. Out the floor, leaking out was Harrison Scott. He'll get an easy two. 74-51 is our score. Attacking, Fantroy. Did he travel or a foul first? Looked like he took an extra step in there. Officials getting together to talk it over. We're not going to count the bucket. Nah. Okay. I'm trying to listen in as they explain what's going on here. It was a foul on Jaden Kemmerly. There was a travel in there, but the foul was first, and so into the bonus. Reynolds will get 2 free throws because of the foul, and they hit the first. Naira Fantroy at the free throw line. Is now 3 for 3 at the stripe, makes it 75-51. Fantroy has a chance to try and take it to its largest lead of the game, and he will not. That is the first free throw missed in the game for Reynolds. And Roseburg almost turns it over in the backcourt. Kemmerly's got his dribble, realizes it, and he'll turn and take it into the front court. Working against Fantroy, goes left side to Frabel, back in the left corner. Kemmerly turns, shoots. His three rattles out. Outlet pass up the floor. Jalen Smith, faster than everybody, right to the rim, finishes with the left hand. 77-51, a 26-point lead for Reynolds. Whistle on the other side. Foul called against Naira Fantroy, his third. And it'll send Marcus Lobo to the free throw line. First free throw for Lobo goes in. Caden Jewett will come out of the game as Eddie Zabatin will take over. Both free throws go in for Marcus Lobo. He's up to 7 points in the ball game. Naira Fantroy dribbled around defensive pressure, got to the rim, couldn't finish, tips the rebound to himself though. Back out to the top for Jalen Smith, the freshman, gives it to the senior Zabatin, give and go. And Smith attacks on the left side, jump shot off the backboard through the nylon. Ooh, backdoor cutter. Nice read there by Frabel, but Scott couldn't quite handle it. And he dribbles it out of bounds. Minute 28 to go in the third quarter. Big lead here for the Reynolds Raiders. Trying to make behind the head pass. The dump off by Zabatin, taken away by Kemmerly, who just goes coast to coast and lays it in. Jaden Kemmerly just kept dribbling and seemed like he thought, well, if nobody's going to stop me, I guess I'll go right to the rim. And he gets 2. Head fake, got the defender in the air. Baseline pass tipped out by Roseburg. It'll stay with the Raiders on their own end of the floor. 64 seconds to go in the third period. 26 on the shot clock with the ball knocked out of bounds. Lob out to the top. Zabatin to the left side into the corner. Jordan Smith. He will hit his 7th three-pointer of the ball game. And over 80 points in this one for Reynolds at 82-55. Dribbling right side. Lobo tried to split 2 defenders. Got it knocked away. Up the floor goes Smith. A hard jump stop. Got Preston Sprague in the air. Sprague then reached out his hand and caught the arm of Jordan Smith as he made the jump stop, trying to let the defense go by, and now Smith goes to the free throw line. Big day for Jordan Smith. Getting ready to check in will be a senior, Carson Cisco, for Reynolds.
Carson Cisco into the Reynolds lineup.
83-55.
Jalen Smith.
Jalen Smith, the sophomore, checks out of the game. He's got 16 in the ball game by my tally. 38.4 left to go here in the third quarter. Second free throw. Jordan Smith didn't think it was going in, but it did. It's been one of those kind of days for him. 84-55. 29-point lead is the largest of the game. Preston Sprague will drop one in, his two-pointer. His first points of the second half puts him at double figures. 84-57. Dribbling out the final seconds of this third quarter. Jordan Smith at the top, behind the back dribble. Out to the left side, launching a three off the mark for Cisco. Up the floor, here goes Preston Sprague, and he tried the dunk, got rim checked. As the third quarter comes to a close, three off the line for Jordan Smith. And we will head to the fourth quarter. Our score, 84-57. Back after this 1-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
The best words you can hear tonight?
Order ready for Susan?
And if you hear those words at Abby's, you know it's going to be a legendary meal. Your pizza is loaded with toppings to the edge, premium ingredients, and real cheese. Yeah, baby. Gather with friends, play some video games, and watch the big game on TV. That's made Abby's a legendary pizza tradition for generations. And when you're ready to hear those magic words,
Tom, your order's ready.
You know where to go. You're always welcome at Abby's.
Go to the fourth quarter. Roseburg trailing big against Reynolds, and Preston Sprague is going to get the first 2 points after a takeaway. Roseburg gets it, and an easy lay-in there for Sprague. 7:47 to go. A whistle will stop play.
Roseburg foul number 11, Preston Sprague.
They're going to call that one on Sprague. I believe that's his fourth. Sprague with 12 points in the ball game. Right side with it is Cisco, the senior for Reynolds. Backdoor cutter finds the batten underneath. He gets the bucket and a foul. 86-59 is our score.
Basket counted on that one. Jalen Smith and Mason.
It was a foul against Jaden Kemmerly, who picks up his third. Cisco and Fantroy head to the bench as Jalen Smith and Mason Gray come back in for the Raiders. The and one coming here for Zabatin is good. He's 3 for 3 at the line. And he now has 13 points in the ball game. Kemmerly will hand it off to Lobo. Jump pass out to Sprague at the top. Left-hand dribble, goes in, double clutch, gets to the rim, and will lay it in. And a quick 4 points here in the period for Preston Sprague. He's up to 14, launching a three. Jalen Smith, no. Harrison Scott with the rebound. Scott angles right side, gives it up to Frabel, who will launch a three, no. And the rebound ripped down. Jalen Smith has it in his hands, 87-61. 26-point lead for the Raiders. It's been as many as 29. Big day going for Jordan Smith. We'll set up at the top, calling for the ball. Gets it from Gray. Had it stripped out, though, by Harrison Scott. Fight for the basketball on the ground. Preston Sprague gets it to Frabel. Roseburg will get the takeaway. Frabel, no look, and a travel before he gets the pass off. So after 3 quarters of play, by my tally, Jordan Smith, the freshman, 43 points in this one. He's hit 7 3-pointers, and he is 6 for 6 at the free throw line. He has had a big game. That is nearly half the points for the Reynolds team. Mason Gray, a long 2 just inside the arc. He'll get a friendly roll off the iron, and it drops in. 9 points in the ball game for Gray. Harrison Scott left side, driving in. The teardrop will fall for the lefty. He's got 28, having a big game as well. 89-63, the ball out of bounds on the other side. Right, the ball will stay with Reynolds. Frabel checks out of the game, and somebody else has got to come out for Roseburg. Jaden Kemmerly coming out of the game. Trey Brown and Marcus Lobo come in. You've got Harrison Scott, Preston Sprague, and Gavin Michael out there. Jordan Smith gets around Lobo, gets into the middle of the lane, can't get the shot to drop. Michael will pick up the rebound, gives it back to Frabel, or to Brown, who almost had it taken away by Jordan Smith. 3 from the right side, no. Putback bucket, though, is good for Preston Sprague. He's got 6 in the period. 89-65. Trying to whip a pass into the corner. A little miscommunication there. Jalen Smith trying to find Eddie Zabatin, and Zabatin zigged when Smith thought he would zag. Timeout called by Reynolds. And I'm going to use a full timeout, so we'll take it as well. Let's get in a 30-second timeout here on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM. Back here at Roseburg High School, Joey Keeran along with you. Help today from Angela Keeran on the video production. Back in the studio, Dale Cranford. Happy New Year, everybody. Happy holidays. Hopefully the winter break has been a good one for you. Nice to see some of the students showing up to cheer on the Roseburg boys basketball team. Even though school is not in session, a handful of students over there. We will be back on the airwaves coming up on Tuesday with a trip up to Eugene, as Roseburg will take on North Eugene in their final non-conference game of the regular season. 89-65 our score out of the timeout by Reynolds. Sprague right side to Lobo. Lobo looks to attack right hand, dribbles it back out. Will pass it away to the top to Harrison Scott. Under 5.5 to go in the ball game. Big lead for Reynolds. Preston Sprague turns and fires a 2. No. Underneath, Gavin Michael got a big rebound, but his shot blocked by Zabatin up the floor. A whistle as the shot didn't drop for Josiah Jenkins, but trying to block the shot was Preston Sprague, and Sprague knows that's his 5th, and he is headed towards the bench. To the free throw line will go Josiah Jenkins. Preston Sprague will foul out of the game with 16 points by my tally. That'll bring in Parker Rogers, the 6'3" junior, will check in for the first time. Jenkins' first free throw. Hops on the iron and drops in. Stick around in the postgame show. We'll wrap this one up for you and take a look at our Winston Auto Care postgame stats. A lot of big numbers out there. 2 points go in for Reynolds, 91-65. And 91 points, the new season high allowed for Roseburg. This Reynolds team can really score. Lobo drives in, left hand scoop shot just off the mark. Lob it down the floor. Gavin Michael there to intercept it. And he gets fouled by Jordan Smith in the process. Nice job reading the play there by Gavin Michael. Michael saw they were looking to Jordan Smith for the outlet down the floor. Into the game for Roseburg, Jake Chartier. Had to remember back to football season. Haven't said his name yet this basketball season. Marcus Lobo will come out of the game. Chartier will take over. Inbound pass stolen away by Jalen Smith. Double clutch in the air, lays it in. And that was just pretty easy there. 93-65. Rogers, right side, drives in. Things open up for him, and the junior lays it in. Comes off the bench and quickly gets 2 points in the scorebook. 93-67. Driving in, Jordan Smith. His first points of the fourth quarter. Soaring to the rim, lays it in with the right hand. He's up to 45 in the ball game. Straightaway three by Harrison Scott. Splashes in. He's got 7 3-pointers in the contest. And that would put him at 31 in the game. 95-70. Jordan Smith driving, kick out. Right side, Jenkins' three is good. And Reynolds has tied their season high with 98 points. Roseburg at 70 points. They've got a new season high. Rogers driving left side, and it is tied up. It'll be on the baseline. I don't know if they called a foul there. They might. I don't know if they called a foul. Substitutions came in. Roseburg will have the basketball underneath. Pushing and shoving. Chartier ended up on the ground. Lob out to the top to Michael. Harrison Scott will get it between the circles. Angles right side with the right-hand dribble for the lefty. Gives it back to Michael, who's going to try his hand at a three. Off the mark. Rebound pulled down by Fantroy. Then stolen away by Scott. Scott gets open. Look at a baseline jumper. It doesn't want to stay in the cylinder. Chance at 100 points here in the game for Reynolds. And the driving shot, no, but Jordan Smith there to clean it up, and he will put it to triple digits for Reynolds as he gets another 2. 47 points in the ballgame for him. 100-70. 30-point lead is the largest in the game for Reynolds. Try to get a pick and roll going there, but it is stolen away by Kanani Tokolo. Left side, a three by Fantroy. Kisses off the glass, but right into the hands. Who else? Jordan Smith right there for it. 102-70. I've got him down at 49 points. He's looking at a 50-burger in this one. Three from the right side for Scott. No. Chartier fighting with Tokolo for the rebound, and it's not there. We still have 2:23 left to go in this one. Reynolds. Jordan Smith doesn't look like he's showing any signs of letting up as he works his way to the rim, and he's over 50 points in the ball game. 104-70. 51 total in this one for Jordan Smith, the freshman. Loose ball underneath. Last touch by Reynolds. Harrison Scott will check out of the game. In for him, I believe that is Ashton Palm by chance. Had some substitutions in as well, but Jordan Smith, the freshman, still out there with his 51 points. Corner three by Gavin Michael splashes in. 104-73. A three. Smith, no. Rebound pulled down by Reynolds. Right side, head fake in the corner by Cisco, no. The entire Reynolds bench is calling for Smith to get the ball. They need to be, sitting down. They will get that. Smith from the free throw line, pull-up jumper, yep.
Jordan Smith.
106-73. Ball stripped out of the hands and then saved off of a Reynolds player by Brown. Goes off of Jewett. Brown will inbound, bounces it to Palm, right side. Dribbles through, out to the top for Rogers. Dribbles away from Fantroy, looks to attack, makes the pass to Michael. And they do not count the basket. They call the foul on Tocolo. We do have a running clock here, so we're down to 23 seconds left to go in the ball game. Out to the top. Tip pass goes to Palm. Will weaves his way around pressure, lobs it up. The teardrop no. 12 points. And Coach Terrence Dickens is saying no. But Jordan Smith's not going to hear it. Ball is knocked out of bounds, and that'll do it. Final score is going to be 106-73. Big one for Reynolds here today, and a big one for Jordan Smith, who gets 50 points in the ball game. They're actually going to send him to the free throw line for free throws with the clock stopped, so he can add to it here. He's got 2 free throws with the game over. He will miss his first miss at the free throw line. And now he's going to take his time in a game that is pretty much over. This is like the college football playoff games yesterday. 1 second left on the clock. And his second free throw with nobody on the floor misses as well. So had a chance at a couple of extra points with the time stopped in a game that was already done, and he can't add to it. But a big night for the freshman for sure. 106-73 our final score. We'll come back with the post-game recap for you after this 2-minute timeout on 541radio.com and on the Score, 92.3 FM and 1490 AM.
1964, 2 high school pals opened up a pizza parlor. Over 60 years later, their mission of providing a great value and family-friendly environment continues to thrive. And what's been their customers' favorite pizza since day one? The Abby's Special. This classic combo of pepperoni, salami, with olives, mushrooms, beef, and sausage, and 100% real cheese tastes as good today as it did way back then. Enjoy great value and classic pizza at your neighborhood Abby's.
When it comes to finances, it can be hard to know what's in your best interest. Experience the strength of advice at Palm Wealth Management. From education and estate planning to retirement and the unexpected, we can help. Call Palm Wealth Management today. Financial security allows you the freedom to take stock of what's important and build lasting bonds. We share your goals. Trust Palm Wealth Management to consolidate your investments and generate income for those who need you most. Call Palm Wealth Management today.
In today's big box store, how-to YouTube video world, it is hard to do it yourself. If you're fixing your fence or putting in a new one, the only place to start is Quality Fence. We stock almost anything you need and take the time to show you how to really do it yourself. Visit the Quality Fence showroom in Roseburg and get great fencing ideas at QualityFenceCo.com.
Quality Fences, doing it right for you.
Final score 106-73 here as Roseburg falls to Reynolds. The Indians unfortunately fall to 0-11 on the year, and Reynolds will go to 6-4 on the season. Roseburg and Reynolds, both teams had a player go off for a big one here tonight. For Roseburg, 31 points in the game for Harrison Scott as he hit 7 3-pointers. As for Reynolds, they had Jordan Smith, who also hit 7, and he finishes with 53 points in this one here tonight. Big one there for Jordan Smith, the freshman for the Reynolds Raiders. Both sides, though, setting new season highs. Unfortunately, Roseburg season high scoring, but also season high on the points that they allowed in this one. I believe that Coach might be coming up here, and we will get a quick word in with Coach in this one to talk about it. Obviously, big scoring game here from both sides. And we will see what Coach Brett Nixon has to tell us about this one here today. All right, I think I got that all squared away there. Coach, you got me there?
Yeah, I got you.
All right. Again, obviously, you guys were hopeful to come away with that first win of the season. Up and down the floor, obviously a lot of scoring today, but I'm sure that defense might be on your mind a little bit.
Yeah, absolutely. And, yeah, that transition stuff, we can't get boat raced like that up and down the floor. You're not going to win any games if you're going to give up 106 points, that's for sure. But, yeah, I'm looking at probably 30 to 40 of that is just them running the floor, beating us down the floor. So we just can't have it.
Yeah. You guys do put up a season high in points scored, but it seemed like you guys might have fallen into their style of game that they wanted to play, a bit of a track meet going up and down the floor as fast as you guys were. Do you feel like you guys kind of fell into playing the type of game that they wanted to versus maybe trying to play a game style that you wanted to in today's game?
Yeah, 100%. Just kind of like we talked in pregame, I was hoping to control the tempo, go deep into the shot clock. We definitely didn't do that. Yeah, we definitely kind of started running with them, trying to get it out of the cup or out of the cup and go. Yeah, I definitely like what we did, especially when we went into that zone. Once we got into our offense, we were getting good looks.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm looking to build on that going into league. If somebody's going to go into a zone, we're gonna take our shots and hopefully shoot them out of it. But we'll see.
Yeah, I definitely agree with you on. We talked about it, trying to run that offense, trying to work some clock and get through the offense the way you wanted to. And Reynolds pretty much played a zone. It seemed like most of the night, and it seemed like you guys were able to find ways to get things to pivot the direction you wanted to. That attack on the offense, where you were seeing what you wanted to from the guys when you guys actually got into running things the way you wanted them
to. Once we got into it, that was the only frustration. Ended up having to call another timeout to be like, hey, get in formation. Once they got overloaded into that, we call it Cyclone. Once we got into Cyclone and we're running it effectively, we were getting good looks at the high post, at the short corner, 3-point shooting. We were getting what we wanted. Just needed to get into it sooner.
We obviously see some athletic play from Reynolds here tonight. They've got guys that are long and athletic. It kind of makes me think of what we're probably going to see from some of the teams that we're going to be facing in conference here coming up. Is there something you can take away? I know probably getting a chance to watch some game film will be helpful, but anything you take away on ways that you could try to go up against an athletic guard like the likes of Jordan Smith tonight for Reynolds, who goes off, a way to try and slow that down that you guys can take from this game to try and maybe utilize in the future when you face some of those kind of type of players in conference play coming up here soon?
Yeah, I think there's some opponents we're going to be facing. We might even need to be looking at double teaming, or even just a little bit more pressure, even some switching and stuff. Yeah, that kid's a heck of a ball player, and he was pretty much just getting to pick whatever he wanted to do, and he was going to do it. And we just can't have that. So we got to work on man-to-man defense, just one-on-one, and then also a little bit better team defense. So when one does get beat, you're going to have somebody that can rotate over and try to stop that penetration.
And mentioned tonight, Harrison Scott coming off the bench. He does hit 7 3-pointers, gets 31 points. I know 31 in a game where you lose by what you ended up having here, 33, the final margin in this one. Obviously a big night for him, but a lot of things that you want to see the team kind of work on. But nice to at least see a guy in Harrison be able to put up a big number here tonight.
Yeah, and I brought him off the bench tonight. He drops 31. Might be something I look into. Maybe he doesn't need to start the game. He just needs to finish it.
Yeah, he had a nice night there for the senior. Well, Coach, appreciate you making your way up here to check in with us tonight, and look forward to seeing you guys at North Eugene coming up on Tuesday.
Absolutely. Thanks, Joey.
All right, that is Coach Brett Nixon joining us here in the post-game show. And we will take a look at those numbers. We've got them all added up here, and then we'll wrap it up for you tonight here from Roseburg High School. The visiting team, the Reynolds Raiders, a season-high 106 for them. I would imagine it's got to be one of the best games he's had. Jordan Smith with 53 here tonight, 7 3-pointers, and he ends up going... let's see here, 6 for 8 at the free throw line. Missed his final 2 that could have put him at 55 for the game. as he was shooting with the time expired and nobody on the floor, and the game was pretty much done because it was a 33-point margin. Didn't need them, but he had a chance to add to it and did not get them. Also behind him in double figures, 18 points for his older brother Jalen Smith, 13 for Eddie Zabatin, the senior big man, 10 points in the game for Josiah Jenkins, 9 for Mason Gray, 3 in the game for Naira Fantroy, and those were your scores in the game for Reynolds. On the other side, taking a look at your Winston Auto Care stat update for Roseburg, you had 31 for Harrison Scott, 16 for Preston Sprague, 12 for Jaden Kemmerly. Then you had 7 for Marcus Lobo, 3 for Gavin Michael, 2 for Gannon Egbert, and 2 for Parker Rogers. And that is a look at your numbers here tonight. Roseburg will hit 10 threes in this one. No, sorry, make that 9 threes. On the other side, 9 threes in the game for Reynolds as well. All right, that is how this one played out here tonight. Tough loss for Roseburg as they continue to seek their first win of the season. They fall to 0-11 on the year. They had some good offense there at times, but defense definitely a point of emphasis for this team as they give up 106 here today. Up next, Roseburg will be at North Eugene. For the Reynolds Raiders, their next game will be on Friday as they take on Tigard. They start out league play in the Mount Hood Conference on the 13th, which would be, let's see here, a week from Tuesday. They start on the 13th against Sandy for their first league game. Roseburg will start league play a week from today here at home against Willamette. But first up, a trip to take on the Highlanders up in Eugene. That'll be coming up on Tuesday next week at 7 o'clock. We'll have the coverage for you right here on the Score, so look forward to that. Want to say thanks to head coach Brett Nixon, athletic director Adam Blue, and the entire Roseburg basketball program for allowing us to be here to bring you another season of Roseburg basketball on the Score. Want to say thanks to Angela Keeran for volunteering her time to come on out and help out here tonight. Thanks to Dale Cranford back in the studio for the radio production. And as always, a thanks to you, the fan, for tuning in for tonight's broadcast because, of course, without you, I'm just a guy sitting here talking to myself. I'm Joey Keeran. Don't forget, coming up tonight, we've got Oregon State Beavers basketball coming up at 6:30 this evening here on the Score, so you can tune in for that as they take on Pacific down in Stockton, California. Mike Parker will have the call for you coming up pregame at 6:30, so that'll be coming up in just a little while here on the Score. That does it for us. Roseburg, final score, 106-73. They fall to the Reynolds Raiders here tonight. We'll be back on the airwaves coming up next Tuesday at North Eugene. Have a wonderful evening, everybody. I'm Joey Keeran. This is Roseburg High Basketball on 541radio.com and on the Score.